Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and today we have an awesome new free and open source tool. It's got a pair of names. One of them is Godot Pixel Renderer. That is the name of the repository, but in the README, it is referred to as Godot Pixel Studio, which frankly I like better. So what is this all about? Well, this is rendering 3D objects to 2D pixel art. It is written using Godot, but you could use this with whatever engine you wanted. Once it's built, you could use this for Unity or Unreal or your own custom engine, whatever. It just happens to be this is yet another application written using the Godot game engine. So you can see here it's written in GD script. If you want to go ahead and grab this one, you've got a couple of different options. First off, you can basically just clone this repository like this and open it up in Godot, or you can go ahead over to itch.io and you can buy it there on itch.io, at which point in time you support the author. Again, $5 if you want to get Windows or Linux binaries. This is completely optional because building this from code is super easy. But if you want to support them, do either pick it up that way or at least come on in and give him a star. So I'm going to show you the other way, the easy way. Just basically clone the repository right here, open it up in the Godot game engine like you see right here. This is a straightforward Godot project, so if you want to run it from Godot, you could just come on up here, press F5 and run your project. Or what you can do is go project and then export. And if you've got a build template already installed, if you don't, when you do an add, it will automatically download them for you. But here you can see I've got Windows Desktop already installed here. Pick the directory where you wish it to go, and then export out the project. It's really that simple. Then what you do is come on over here to wherever you installed it, which in my case is temp because all things go in temp, and you will see I built it to gp.exe. Standalone executable. Once it's built, you don't need to use Godot anymore, by the way. And again, building this is super simple. So what exactly is this program all about? Well, it's quite straightforward. What you're doing is you're taking a 3D model. So I'm going to use their demo right here, sample, and you're going to find the skeleton minion is available there. And you notice we've got an animation playing for it. So right here, that is like a punch animation, like so. And if we want to go ahead, we can render that out to sprites. So we got a couple different options here. We can pick the file size of our sprite right here. So we can set it 256 by 256 if we wish. We'll stick with 512. You can give a prefix for the name of the rendering. Otherwise, they're going to be like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as according to the frame. So you can see here, this is a 32 frame animation running at 12 frames per second. So each one of those frames is going to be exported out. So I'll show you exactly that process to start with. So we'll do, this is a front view. Let's switch over to a side view. So again, you've got your predefined sides, so you could render it from, left or right, easy enough. You can also do top or bottom if you wish to do so. So let's go over to the side view. So right here, we've got an animation. Let's do jump. So there is our jump animation from the side for this character. Actually, I don't like that animation that much. Let's do a walk animation instead. So there you see. So there is our character walking on the side view. We want to go ahead and export this one out. Let's go ahead and say side walk, and then pick a directory for it. So right here is our temp directory, and then we'll call this one out, like so, and we'll select that folder. So there we got 512 by 512. We can export it out. We can pick a background color if we wish or not, your call. And then if you like your animation, you want to export it out, click export. And then boom, that's it. That's all you need to do. So we're going to head back on over here. You're going to notice in our folder called out, all of our frames. So there we go. Each frame of animation has been rendered out accordingly. So each frame, as we go through, the walk cycle is available here. And I need to get a better image viewer to show you frame by frame because the Windows one sucks. But as you can see here, it goes basically the prefix that we did, side underscore walk, and then frame 000 to frame 30. So each one of our frames is in the sequence. So that is the front. And so let's say we want to switch to the front animation. We go there, and we could just switch this over one here, go to front walk, and export that one out. And then what you will see, once again, C temp out, and now we've got all of our fronts being rendered as well. So we've got sides and fronts being rendered out, which is very cool. So that is our animated sprite, all the various different frames available for it. You can position the sprite, so if you want to go ahead and move it around, you can set the position of it simple using these controls. Ditto for the rotation. This one right here is the scale of the sprite of how you wish to render it out. So if you want to be bigger, you can do that right there. And then we've got some controls over how the sprite is lit. So we've got a key lighting. So you see the effect of the key lighting right there, a fill light right there, and then a rim light right there. And by the way, you can take any one of these, you can rotate it if you wish. So that's this control right here, rotate around where it'll be. And then of course, if you want to have it be a different color, you could set that one up as well. So that is your options here in terms of the lighting setup here. Then we're going to notice over here is you've got some other settings here. So presets. So if you want to do like a retro game, you can have it set up there. And you can notice it automatically swapped out the palette over there. Same thing for vintage, pastels, neon, monochrome, high contrast, or we can go back to the default, which is where we started from. And then you can also say, you know, like how many color steps we want to have. So we can have it, so this will add a little bit more detail to our palette. We'll have a little bit more going on there. You can check the edge strength, the overall sharpness. I could change the saturation values, or there, right there. I think that would be a brightness. We've got a gamma, contrast and gamma right there. So you can set up the defaults on how you want this to be exported out. And then you've got an outline for drawing like on lines on the edge for that art styling. And then you've got control over the dithering. You can do various different dithering amounts, thresholds and sensitivities and so on there if you wish to dither. I generally am not a huge dithering fan. And then the other thing you're going to notice with this particular tool is you have options for remapping the colors. So I could say, okay, I want to remap these colors, and we could pick from a predefined palettes. So you got a number of defined palettes over here, and you can see your palette set over here. I do believe you can also, so you could come here and you could create your own palette, and then we could pick each one of these colors in the palette and set it accordingly, or we can sample it from the original model down here, and Bob's your uncle. So you got a number of different controls over the palette settings to work from. So you have a consistent art style rendered out from your 3D objects. So it's a very cool project in that regard. You've also got control over here for showing the axis, origin, and floor. And then again, background color can be configured over here. And that's kind of it. It is Pixel Renderer. Again, new project by Buckbeak. Available entirely up on GitHub. So again, they call it the Godot Pixel Renderer, but they also call it Godot Pixel Studio. And personally, I like that name better, but I'm curious which of the two you actually prefer. Again, it is a 3D to pixel art renderer. It's built in Godot 4.4. It is under the MIT license. You can build it yourself for whichever platform you wish to work from. A variety of different options there in terms of swapping the palettes, advanced shader effects, such as edge detection, sharpening, dithering, and outlines, and then post-processing effects such as gamma, contrast, brightness, and HSV values. You can do frame-by-frame animation exports to ping sequences, flexible export settings, custom frame ranges, and so on. Again, you can load in any GLB or GLTF model, obviously with animations, or I guess without if you wished. And then you've got it automatically setting up the various different camera angles for you. A very straightforward and cool project, in my humble opinion. And again, you saw the gist of how everything works. So again, if you want to modify it, this is an entirely Godot project. So head on over to Godot, and as you can see here, it's just a project. So you could go ahead and tweak things. You want to change the name of a variable or the way that something works or anything like that. It's all here. It's just a straightforward Godot power tool. The cool thing here too is also you could potentially build it for web platforms, for Android, for iOS, etc. Because that's just the nature and portability of these Godot-based applications. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We will call it both Godot Pixel Studio, which I prefer, or Godot Pixel Renderer, which is the name of the repository. No matter how you look at it, basically it is a 3D object to sprite rendering tool with palette tools and so on. Let me know what you think. Comments down below. I will talk to you all later. Also, let me know which name you prefer. All right, that's it. I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.